Okay. So this is a live. If you watch the replay, just to let you know, it will take some time until Vince the Bastelvogt will come, so I can invite him in this chat, in this live stream. Let's see if that works. Invite him. Let's see. Now he's here. Oh yeah, it's working. Awesome. Hey Vince.
Hey.
How you doing? You feeling good?
Yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, English is not your native language, so we give our best.
Yeah.
I guess it's very important, you know. I had this idea today because in the last couple of days I came across a lot of questions about the generator and the journey of the generator and how to make a sacral decision. And after all of this loads of information that generators are, you know, have, because it's everywhere. Generator sacral information is everywhere. I mean, it's the most of the stuff that's out there is for generators. It's about the sacral. It's about how to make a decision, all of this stuff. And still, it seems pretty hard, pretty complex for those beings. And also, you're the founder of this wonderful human design charms. I hope you can see it in the camera. This is actually the first one Bastelvogt ever created. This is the first one he ever created. I guess it's from elder wood, as far as I can remember. So this is a very shamanic power wood that he used, and what he uses with his craftsmanship of making wooden charms or talismans. He only uses very specific wood, not cut down. Like it needs to be something that really died on its own, or you know, I mean, Vince can tell you the story when we're coming to that point, but it's very beautiful. And I really want to give you some support, because this is just, you know, it's awesome. And I really would like that people to know that you do stuff like this, and that there is like 100 people already, or even more, who have one of this. And I wish to you that there will be 500 or maybe 1,000 people having such a beautiful thing around their neck, hanging there, and get recognized by, you know, because actually it happened one time, you know, as far as I know. I can remember you sold one of those, but the more exclusive, I don't know what you call it, rare? No, rare is the most, is rare? Yeah,
it's the most expensive one, the rare.
Yeah, you sold one, I guess, and then this being, she was in Munich, and she got recognized as a manifestor in the metro.
Okay,
she was sitting in the metro in this, you know, in this little train underground, and somebody said, "Oh, you're a manifestor," and she was like, "Whoa," you know, because, and this is something. I mean, come on, this is awesome. Like if stuff like that happens, I mean, come on. So yeah, just to let you know, guys, this is awesome. Please support Bastelvogt. He really does a lot of good stuff with this here. And he puts so much love inside. But now let's talk about the journey. But first of all, you're a manifesting generator. You're a 1-3 profile. You have the cross of penetration. Yes. You have a sacral, a spleen, a throat, and that's it so far, right?
That's it.
That's defined. Everything else is open. You have a completely open chi center and a completely open ashna, or completely open
ashna.
So just to let you people know what we're dealing about, you know, it's all about differentiation. So I always think it's interesting to know who we talk to. And maybe for some people, this is like, oh, interesting. This is very similar to my design. And so I can really watch this in a different way, because, you know, everybody's different. So yeah. When did you start with your experiment?
I would say, in January 2019, it all begins. And I've heard from human design earlier. So I think in summer 2018, I've heard the first time from you about human design. And then yeah, it was interesting to read something, or if you when you told something to me,
Yeah.
it was interesting. But so really, it starts in January 2019, and yeah, but I would say it really starts with my first question I asked from my sacral.
Okay.
So
So you got asked, and then you had a
yeah, yeah,
response.
yeah. My first response, or my first response,
When you
which
were,
was
I was.
very crazy, as the
Okay.
first very crazy response from my sacral, was in October or November 2018, and my boss, or my boss,
Ex-boss.
yeah, my ex-boss asked me. So we was in a coffee house, and we talked about the next year and the marketing strategies and everything. And I think 1 or more than 1 hour later, he just asked from nothing, "Do you love what you do, or do you want to make it? Uh, do you want to make it the next years?" And
Do you want to continue your work?
yeah, yeah, exactly. And my sacral says no. and I was in this coffee house, and I thought I should say this to him. I normally I just would say, or on this point of my life, I would say I wouldn't have I would say yes, but I don't mean it like this.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But this was the first time I really said no, and I don't know what will happen next. Because when your boss, or now ex-boss, ask you if you want to continue, and you say no, normally the next step is, okay, then you quit your job.
Yeah, yeah.
But I don't have a response to quit my job. I just have a no for this. And then he asked the next question. So, do you want to leave our business? And I said yes. So, can you work here for the year, or till the end of the year, because we have to find something new for your job, because I had a position in a shop, in a craft beer shop, and I was the store manager. So he had to find something new
Yeah, yeah,
for
somebody
the
new
for
will
the
will
for the
take the job.
Christmas time, and something. And yeah, it was not the best timing for quitting a job so nearly to Christmas. And I said yes. So the next plan was to make it finish, or to make it happen until the end of the year. And yeah, it was okay. Yeah, it was until this question, until I know I don't want to do it anymore.
Okay, in the
This
moment
was
you
the
knew you
first,
don't want to do it anymore.
yeah, then it was
This.
really hard. It
Okay.
was just it was just 2 or 3 months, but that was the hardest months of the whole time I worked there.
Okay.
But day after day, it goes on, and finally, it was the new year, the 1st of January, and yeah, I was sitting at home in the 1st of January, and uh, yeah, looked at my
Account.
bank account, and there was only 16 euros, because the payment for the apartment and everything is normally here in Germany is on the 1st of January, so everything goes to this, and I have nothing, just 16 euros for everything, for
Yeah,
food
yeah,
and whatever. So okay, I said, yeah, 16 euros. Should work.
yeah. So you were
Have,
you kind of trusted the process. So to say,
yeah,
I mean, your motivation is hope.
yeah.
So
My
that's what you
motivation is
did,
hope.
right? You
Yeah,
just hope
exactly.
that everything
I
will be
did.
fine.
I didn't, but I didn't know this at this point.
Yeah.
I just do. I have just I know that I have to hope, but I don't know it because I read it anywhere or something.
So it's natural for you.
Yeah, that was natural, and it was the first time I recognized it. It's natural for me uh, just see or just hope, be just accept what is now, and yeah, don't do anything, just let it happen.
Awesome.
And then yeah, 60 euros is nothing. So 2 weeks later, I think maybe less than 2 weeks, was the first time I didn't had anything to eat anymore. And I was at home and I didn't know what to do next. I was hungry and I, yeah. So the first thought I had was, okay, I'm hungry. What should I do? I go to my to my nearest bank account, blah, blah, blah.
You know, it's just a bank. You go to the bank
Yeah.
and get some
Yeah.
money, or like get
Yeah, get some money,
credit.
but a credit, yeah. But they said no, you don't can have a credit because you doesn't have a job.
Yeah.
You don't have a job. So okay, then I'm I'm going back home, and there was I'm near in a city, so I was in the middle of a city. It was a small town, but this was the middle of this small town, and I
Center,
just
town center.
the center, yeah, the center, and I just go there and take a seat on a big place where there are much a bakery and a brewery and everything there. So I just sit there, and then an old friend from me comes next to me and say, "Hey, Vince, I didn't see you a long time, and what do you do and whatever." And we talked a little bit, and then he said, "I want to take some food. If you if you want to join, I pay for you." So I didn't say anything. I didn't say I'm hungry, or I didn't say I don't have money or anything. We
Wow.
just talked about old times and whatever. Yeah, and music and let's jam and yeah.
So have you been to this bench where you sat before, or was it the first time you just decided like, okay, my body wants to go there?
Uh, it was the first time I sat down alone. So we was together on the same spot, but alone I would never get the idea to sit on a
But
bench.
in this case, your body was just like saying to you, let's go
Yeah.
outside to them because you have environment markets, right? So this is a kind of
Hmm.
marketplace or something, and your body
Yeah.
just wants to go there. Okay.
And then I have food for this day. And yeah, it goes on. So until the I think in the whole time since then, I had a lot of times I don't have money, or I didn't have money. But every time something happens that I don't have to be hungry more than 2 or 3 hours. So if it's
Just for the
yeah.
just for the people who just joined, we're talking
Hmm.
about how Vince came up with this, like the whole story of his generator experiment, because he wasn't somebody who works with wood and craftsmanship and art and all of this stuff. He was a brewer. He worked as a store manager, and he's just sharing his story how he quit his job by he got asked by his boss, like, do you want to still work for us? And he had a no, and he said no. His cycle said no, so he said no, and then everything changed. That's what the story is about. So it's all about how he came up with this awesome little thing here. So just for the people who just came into this life. Okay, and
Yeah.
then you had some food for the day.
Yeah. So long story short, it was a hard time, yeah, because I don't have uh, continuously money, but it it was not like I didn't had anything I need.
So you
I
had
ever
everything you need, but
Yeah,
it came differently, not with money. You bought it yourself. It was
yeah. It just came from nowhere. I don't know. In that moment, or in so in that moment I said to me, fuck, I have to do something. In that moment something happens. so that I don't can do a mistake. So just like the universe want to say to me, hold on and try this human design shitty thing.
hope on, you know, hope
Hope
on.
on. Yeah. So and then I think it was in the last week of January or the 1st of February, I don't know it. And you called me. You were in Tenerife at this
Yeah.
time, and on the on the end of the year before, you asked me the first time if I want to join you to
Come
Tenerife,
visit
and
me. Yeah.
yeah, and I said at this time no, and then you asked me again, and I have a yes. But I didn't had money for the plane, and you said okay, you can pay for me, and then then I was sitting at home and thought, okay, so tomorrow I will go to Tenerife, but I didn't had an so I
I
don't know an
booked the
English
flight for
word for.
you for the next day, right?
Yeah, for the next day. But I have a lot to do at this point because I don't know English word for this. But if you're in Germany, if you don't have a job, you can just go to an office, and if you had paid years before, you can get a small payment
Yeah,
to
yeah.
come through the time. And I didn't had to do it in this
You
time.
didn't, you
So
went, you did not went, yeah, you
so,
wasn't there to make this stuff, or
I was there, but I have to fill some formulas,
yeah,
and I don't do it until. So I said, okay, I filled the forms, and I know that if I go to the airport, I have to go by train. So I would take it and put it in the
post
post
box.
post box and hope everything is right and I don't have to fill anything else or something. And I called my office manager in, or you have somebody you can talk to, and I called her and said, okay, I will put it in the post box, and tomorrow I go to Tenerife. And I have to say it to her because they want to know everything,
Yeah,
where
yeah, yeah.
you are and whatever. And you can only go 3 weeks out the country, but not out the country, out the city, out your apartment.
Yeah. Welcome to Germany.
Yeah. And if you're not at home, they send you letters, and if you're not at home and don't react to the letters, they cancel you the payment.
Yeah.
So I make that fix, and the next morning begins, and I didn't at this point I don't know how to get to the airport. So I woke up, and I know, okay, in 2 hours my plane will start, but
Oh,
I don't know how to get there. So
you hoped a lot, man.
I just sit there and looked out the window, and I think 5 minutes later, our father called me and said, "Hey, Talis said you're visit him in Tenerife. He has things here. Can you take it with you?" And I said, "Yes." So how do you get to the airport? And I said, "Yeah, I don't know." So he said, if you go by train, I can pay your ticket, and we will meet at
Train
the
station.
train station. Yeah, and I said,
Awesome.
yeah, cool. So he paid for the ticket. He make an online ticket and sent it to me, and then so 2 hours before the plane goes, I know, okay, I can get to the airport. So I take my stuff, just in backpack with underwear and two shirts or something. It was just a small bag because I just have the small packaging for
Yeah,
the
yeah.
plane.
Cabin luggage. Yeah.
Yeah, and I go to the train station and put the forms in the post box before, and I was in the train station and riding with the train and looked out the window and thought it was snowing at this time in Germany
Yeah,
because it
because
was winter.
it's winter.
And I looked out of the window and just thought, what the fuck? I didn't have money. I don't know what happened. And now I'm in a train to an airport and will go to Tenerife. In that moment I realized what just happened.
Yeah.
I know this situation exactly. It's like a movie in my brain because it was the absolutely what the fuck moment in my life, I think.
And just
And
because you listen to your Sacral.
yeah, yeah. So and then I'm at the airport, and yeah, my father gives me a little bit of money for the staying there, and so I can get a water and anything just for the first time, and to have a little bit of food in the plane and in Tenerife for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was there, and I was in the plane, and in the plane I looked out the window and thought, fuck. I didn't thought about of flying.
Ah, you were
I
you
that was I was in a plane with 6 years or something or 10, I don't know. But it was with my parents, and when parents are with you, you're everything is okay with parents as a child,
yeah.
and you don't have so much fear. And I was alone in this plane, and it was crazy because it was just crazy. I I really thought I have to cancel now. It's too much. I don't can. It's like a horror movie. So the plane crashes and whatever, and yeah,
It was too good to be true.
yeah, it was too good to be true. And then the plane was freezed, so they have 1 hour to clean it up.
Oh, okay.
And I was inside there, and they with brushes and everything, they scrubbed the plane, and it it sounds like the whole thing will just fall
Go
out.
wrong.
Yeah, but then everything was okay, and they said, okay, we can start, and the plane goes on the start point and begins to drive. And I was so amazed because this plane goes so fast in so short time, and then whoosh, I was in the air, and it was so crazy moment because everything, not only the plane that works, everything to get there was with doing nothing. I just do nothing and go, and it happened in this 4 weeks, or in on this day happened more than in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
So then I arrived in Tenerife, and you you are a little bit late because you didn't know how the because it gives
Yeah, there's like a time shift, and we didn't
yeah,
know
yeah,
what exactly is the plane coming because they have wrong information. And yeah.
yeah, and because I'm not at this time, I have to arrive. I'm later.
Yeah, because
The
of
plane
hours.
was late. Yeah, the plane was late. My brain is just, it says 100 words for one word.
That's okay. Take your time. It's all good.
Okay, so I was there, and yeah, it was nice. It was warm. At the morning, it was like uh, cold as fuck, -4 degrees Celsius, and then was like 25. I I I had a pullover on. a sweater, and if I go out the airport, why I grab this with me? It's just, it was not really, yeah. It was too warm to wear. So then we was in Tenerife, and it was cool there, and I didn't know when, but a friend of us, Carsten, was there too, and he built didgeridoos at this point. And the last time I saw him was in Germany, and he played the didgeridoo, and I played on a djembe with him. And we was sitting at the evening there, and I said, "Oh, it would be so nice, so cool if I can jam with you now." Yeah. But he just had one ditch, and nobody has a djembe or something like that. So we said, okay, there's a music store in the next bigger city. So on the next day we will go there and look. So we was there, but I just had, I think, €8 or something. Mm. And we was there, and like I know, there doesn't sell a djembe for €8.
Of course, you knew that they won't sell you a djembe for €8.
But they had but they had was
the skin, like a skin.
Yeah, the skin for a djembe for around €5. So I said, okay, I would buy this one, and maybe I can build a djembe by my own. And Carsten knows how to make music instruments and something, and said, yeah, it's easy, just make this and that. And he talks a little bit with me, and I said, okay. And he worked there too in a little place, in a little workstation or something. And he said he had wood. He had enough wood, so I can take it from him. So I just need this skin. Okay, so we go back home, and do I make a
sketch?
Yeah, I don't know if I made a sketch or not. I think not. So I just said to him, because I have a lot of fear from this saws and something like that. I was just from the machinery. I just said, let's do it, because I want to hold my hand like it is.
I don't want to lose my fingers. Yes.
Yeah. So he said, okay, what should I cut? And I said, yeah, okay, just make it like this. Just from the head. Just make it like this. I never built a djembe on this point. Just, okay, make it like this. And then I make an octagon. So it's not a circle. When you look at the top, it was an octagon.
Yeah, eight.
Because because it's easier than a circle. Yeah. So he cut it for me and said, yeah, okay, he want to eat something, and I make it, blah, blah, blah. And he comes back from eating, and I said, hey, I'm finished. And he said, what? You finished? It's just 1 or 2 hours later. And I said, yeah, I'm finished. So the first drum was made, and then it starts. A few days later, I had a dream from a drum with 9 corners, not 8, 9 corners, and I said, "Oh, I have to build this." And the owner of the place we stay said, "Hey, cool," and she wants a drum too, and he would buy for the wood and for the skin and everything I need.
Material.
Yeah, from the material. Yeah. And I said, okay. And we go to the shop again and to a Baumarkt. I don't know,
Yeah, a craft shop, like where you get
a craft shop.
stuff for crafting. Yeah.
And we buy everything there. And I start to build it. And then I made, no, I don't, duh. Yeah. I made a small sketch just to know which parts I need,
Yeah.
because I had it in my mind, but it was a lot of more. It was more fine tuning and more pieces to cut. So I say to Carsten, "Hey, can you cut it like this and that and make
He
it?"
was a generator too, so you could ask him. He
Yeah,
had like yes or no. And
yeah, and he cut it all for me, and I had a lot of small pieces because I have to make 9 pieces for one nonagon, and then I want to make 9 of this on top,
stacked.
stacked. Yeah.
So it's like
So
a
yeah, exactly. And it was like 9 9 corners and 9 of these nonagons stacked.
yeah. You don't need to be so detailed. It's all good.
Yeah. Okay. So I built it, and it was cool. And then uh, there was a woman, and she saw me and said, "Hey, I want a drum too." So I said, "Yeah, okay, I built you one." And I found so old wood from a agave stem,
Agave.
agave, and I built it from there. And I gave it to her, and she said, "I want to give you something. What do you need?" And I think, I don't know. I didn't made it because I want something. I just made it because it's fun, and you thought it's nice to have a drum from me. And she said, "Okay, I give you 100 euros." And I said, "Oh, okay, cool." And that was exactly the cost of the uh, uh,
Light back.
flight back. Yeah, and it was. Uh, I have to go back because it was the last day uh, to go back
Because of this other
before,
stuff with the payment.
before the payment was cancelled. So I'm back home and was in this office, and in this office the woman in this office asked me, "So
What do you like to do?
what do
What
you
would you
like to
like to
do?"
do at work?
Yeah, and I said, "I don't know." And she said, "Okay, do you want to work as a brewer?" And I said, "I don't know." And she said, "Yeah, it's not easy at the moment because we don't have free jobs for brewers." So I said, "Okay, so what should I do?" She said, "Okay, I can search for jobs for a store manager." And I said, "Yeah, but I'm just a store manager for craft beer because I know a lot about craft beer, but I don't can be a store manager for what else,
Yeah, but something else
for
is not
food
obvious.
or something." And she said, "Yeah, okay, that's okay." And then she said, "I saw you had an own business a few years ago." I started at this time a small business with this e-cigarettes, and she asked if I want to if I want to make an own business again.
Do you
And
want
I
to be
said,
self-employed?
yeah, and I said yes. And she asked, yeah, and what do you want to do? What kind of business? And I said, yeah, I was in Tenerife, and uh, I I I made drums there, so I could do drums on my own business. And she said, okay, but do you know how to build drums? And I show her the pictures, and she said, oh wow, it's and she don't believes me that this was the only 3 drums I ever built in my life.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They
So
were so good she didn't even believe it. Yeah,
yeah,
awesome.
so she said, okay, make a business plan, and gave it to me. And if everything is okay, then you will hear from us in the next 2 or 3 months if you will get an payment for this, because I didn't had because they have to prove it and everything. And if you make your own business, it's not normally then that you get so
Money. Yeah, yeah.
startup money.
It's like a
Uh,
startup boost from the
yeah,
government.
yeah, for 6 months. So I said okay and make this own business, and then I go to a lot of these shops for machines and tools and everything, and searched and whatever, and but I don't have money. I have nothing.
You had nothing.
I had nothing. I had a little bit to eat and something, but I don't can buy tools. So okay, I asked my mother if it's okay for her that I will go to her and live by
Place.
her. Yeah, go to her place and quit my apartment. Because if I quit my apartment, I have 400 euros more per month. So she
And
said yes.
have you been asked by somebody if you want to quit your apartment?
hmm I I didn't can I didn't could
What do you want to say?
ich konnte die Miete nicht zahlen einen Monat.
You couldn't pay the rent.
Yeah, one more. When I started to my own business, they quit the payment until the form is
Approved. Yeah.
approved. Yeah, so I didn't can pay the rent, and then my Vermieterin,
You're the landlord.
yeah, the
Host.
landlord said, "Do you want to stay here anymore in this apartment?"
Really?
Yeah, really. Not on a angry thing or mad thing. Just
Just
yeah,
casually.
yeah. And I said no, and and she said okay. So what's next? And I said okay, yeah. I will. It will be good until August. Normally, I have to be there until October because you have to be 3 months inside,
Yeah, yeah.
and the year goes fast as
Yeah,
whatever.
whatever
It
it
was,
goes, doesn't matter now.
yeah. And yeah, so on end of August, I go to my mother's place and had a small room there, and then I get a letter from the office. They said, okay, you can have it, the payment. And yeah, I was there and started. And the next year, I tried to make these drums again, but
It never
uh,
happened. It never really worked out.
it never worked out. I never finished one drum again.
Do you know why?
No, it's just it was not possible anymore. So I read it to how to build easy and nonagon and something. And in on Google they said it's impossible to build a nonagon and something like that. And I said, huh? It, so it's not impossible to build a nonagon, but it's impossible to make it like a strong uh, that it's
A
strong
strong
enough to
piece that
hold,
holds together.
because
Yes.
yeah, because the grease and anything, and from the
I
math
mean,
and yeah,
I
whatever.
watched you in your process. It took like it
Yeah,
was 1 year or even a bit more. You always struggled and wanted to
yeah,
try and nothing
right.
happened, and you were really stuck. But
Mm.
you still kept on hoping. That's you still kept on hoping. Okay, maybe. And I know this. Let's skip a bit. I can remember this one moment where you said like to me, Talis, I had yes for buying wood for a lot of money, and I have no idea what I'm gonna do with it.
But I want to say one more,
Yeah,
because
please.
we skip the most of this time, but I think that the first time is really just why I explained it so deeply.
Okay,
It
okay.
was really, really. it was a really strong and hard time. And I think the most people would cancel, but it's
They will
normal.
give
And
up
if you,
instantly.
yeah, they would give up, but it was not easy, but yeah, it was easy. But my brain said it's not easy
Your mind.
because I have to wait. Yeah, my mind. And I think this part of the story is a good inspiration for somebody who make his own
Like
business.
you had your yes, and you really were
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
life kind of brought you everything you need, but
yeah,
still your mind were like sorrowing and
yeah.
tried to, make you quit, but you actually didn't quit. So it was correct because, Ra always said generators are the great quitters because they never have a yes for something, a real yes. That's why they always quit because they're too
Hmm.
frustrated. But in
Hmm.
that case, in your case, it was hard, but it didn't frustrate you so much that you quit the process.
It never frustrated me. It was
No,
just, oh, I don't know what I should do because if they don't give me the payment and whatever and
you had
everything.
sorrows.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I skip it until the end of the year. At the end of the year, I said to me, I have to be more. I need a car or anything
You need to be more
to
mobile somehow.
more mobile, yeah. And I looked in the internet and I searched and can I rent a car or should I buy an old car or whatever. And at the end of the day, I on every possibilities I said I don't have enough money for anything, for old car, for renting a car or whatever. So I said, okay, I buy a bonus ticket for the for train that I get a 50% offer. And it was like a special thing for young people. And I said, okay, I would buy me this, and then I don't need so much money in the future.
Yeah.
And I go to the train station the first time with this new business bonus card, and my father called me and said, "Hey, I'm in a new company, and they need somebody who can work with wood. And if you have a yes, and I had a yes, yeah, you have to be in Austria and so you have to drive a lot and yeah, and I said, yeah, I could do this, but I don't know how I can get there to build up the things. And he said, yeah, no problem. You would get a car to your normal payment. And I say, I said, yes, of course. So I get a car. I just do nothing. It was from my mind to buy this bonus card, and I never used it again until this day. Re, no, no, that's not correct. I used it one more time to go to Cologne to visit you because I didn't have this car on this time. But then 2 or 3 weeks later, I had a car and I have to do nothing for it. I didn't have to pay for the gasoline. I didn't have to pay for anything like car service or
Insurance,
whatever.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
It
just
just
can.
came to you. You want to have a
Yeah,
car?
yeah,
Okay.
and I just can use them. And every 2 weeks or something like that, I build it up. So yeah, like I
You just,
I
yeah,
didn't.
you
Yeah,
you went outside and helped building up
yeah,
some stuff for advertising, and yeah,
yeah, yeah. Okay.
very easy
So
stuff, you said, right?
easy stuff. And yeah, but I had a car, and that was the point I
And
want
you, with
to.
the car, you could drive anywhere you wanted, right? It was
Yeah,
like free,
yeah,
unlimited.
yeah.
Awesome.
And I had the first uh, payments for my business because I
Yeah.
I don't just get the car. I get normally be I normally get paid for the work I do for the building up the stuff
Yes.
and plus the car. So I said to me, okay, I don't have to quit my own business. I don't build drums, but I get money elsewhere.
So you came to you thought like, oh, let's make a business with maybe what I thought I should
Hmm.
do, and you tried, but you know you errored. It didn't work,
Yeah,
and
the
but you
business was right, but I don't know which business. So I took the business I can imagine, but it was not it. I'm not a drum builder. I'm whatever, but not a drum builder.
yeah. I mean you have a completely open cheese center. How do you
Yeah,
know? I mean this is not the way.
yeah. And then the next year, um, yeah, then everything crazy happened. The next year, I had the car and built up the stuff things, but never do something from me. I I just I make a little bit so tiny handy holders and something, but I have a lot of ideas, but I never do anything in my business.
You didn't do it. Okay, you spend all the time for this business with going somewhere and building stuff
Yeah,
up, but you
but
didn't
I
use.
create
Yeah,
anything.
yeah,
Yeah,
you didn't create anything. So you were
yeah,
just like focused on this thing
and
and not
you know,
trying to
yeah.
create anything else right now.
Yeah,
Okay.
I didn't know
Yeah, so okay.
what
So
to
you had the
create.
wood, you had the machinery,
Yeah, and this was the point. I bite the wood too. So
you bought.
I
Okay.
bought the wood. I get money for this building up stuff, and I search in the internet for wood and talk to some people just to know how to get or where I can get wood.
Yeah.
And I talked to someone and I visited him and he showed me his maple wood and yeah, I said, okay, cool, but I don't have 500 euros. So, okay. And then, uh, I don't know, a few months later, I didn't know that I was there anymore. So a lot of time later,
You can't
he,
remember that you even visited
yeah,
him. This
yeah, he
stuff.
called me and said, hey, do you want the maple? Uh, and I said, yeah, it's a nice wood, but I don't have money. And he said, okay, you can get it for the half of the price. And I said, wow, okay. And then I bought it, but I don't know for what because I didn't create anything at this point.
So you
I
just
just
said
bought,
yes.
yeah, and I just owned, I just not owned, I just get this money from this building up
You
stuff.
just received them.
Exactly. I just received exactly the half of the price of the wood. So I had money and then I have nothing. And I buy wood I don't need for this.
So your
Yeah.
mind was like, "Are you fucking crazy? What you gonna
Yeah.
do, man? Are you
Yeah.
crazy?"
And then I met another guy who had a lot of wood too, and yeah, it was like the start of uh, go in this yeah to meet the right people
Are you
to
okay? You felt like now you're aligned and you meet the right
yeah
people, the right stuff
yeah
comes. And
yeah, and then
how many years after your first circle thing was this?
1 year and 5 or 6 months.
Okay, 1.5 years.
Yeah, yeah, and then the really next step was that you made an human design place to be, whatever it
Yeah,
is.
like a workshop.
Yeah,
Okay.
like a workshop. Yeah, and Daniela was there. She drove from Austria there, and yeah, we had a fun time, and I showed her some beers and whatever. And end of the story, I uh, wie schreibt man das auf Englisch? I fell in love with her,
Yeah.
and she fell in love with me, and uh,
So
yeah,
even the love of your life came to your door.
yeah, it's exactly like it's literally she literally came through my door because at this moment I just I just showered me and was
You took a
on the
shower.
table. I took a shower and then was on the table, not on the table. I don't know how to
You
say it.
sat at the table.
I sat at the table by my mother's living room, and she comes in, and I was just there, and hey, and she, hey, I think she said hey at the first time, and this was the moment I met her. So just I'm sitting at home. So like I don't know if this Sprichwort gibt's auch woanders,
A
keine Ahnung.
saying, a saying.
The saying in Germany, the most people say uh, your dream girl doesn't will knock on the door.
Yeah, your dream partner will not knock at your door. Yes.
Yeah, but she
In
will.
this case, it happened. Yes.
She didn't knocked, but
She just came in. Yeah,
yeah,
manifestor style. You know.
yeah, yeah, and then everything starts really. So the next step was we are around, or we spend a lot of time together with you and Daniela, and I quit this car building up thing job because I don't know. I think the boss asked me if I want to do this, and he just always makes pressure. You have to build it up tomorrow and now and this. And I said, I have my own business. I can make it like when you say, okay, you have 1 week and then make it like you want it, then it's okay, but not make it tomorrow. And then I drove there tomorrow and I be there, and he said, oh, today is not good. Come
Yeah. Okay. So
tomorrow
you
again.
just had a no for
Yeah.
continuing this with yeah.
And he asked me if I want to continue, and I said no. So I give back the car, but I didn't need the car anymore because Daniela had a car, and we don't need two cars.
Awesome.
So it was perfect timing for this, and
So awesome, man.
it was not like the jobs before. It was not a real job because it was
It was a side
from my
hustle.
business. Yeah, but it was the first time I canceled a job before I get frustrated. It was the
Ah, okay.
perfect time. It
Okay.
was the timing. I realized, okay, it was fun. I learned a lot, but now it's boring. And
No satisfaction anymore.
I get this thought, and in the next moment, it canceled.
Awesome.
So, and I gave back the car, and I drove home. And Daniela go with me with her car, and we go together home. No, I'm. I was in the car.
Whatever. It's not
Whatever.
serious.
I was in a car, and I thought I saw I saw so wooden necklaces, wooden charms on Facebook from somebody,
Mhm.
and I thought because they were not really good looking,
Yeah, it was
and I
just
thought and he wants 50 or 60 euros for it, and I said, why? And who would buy something like that?
yeah.
And in the car, I thought, okay, it has to be a little bit more. At this point, I had bought a laser engraver
Oh, you
in
bought
January.
Asia
I
too.
bought a laser engraver, and it was like the wood. I didn't know why. I
You
just
just
bought it.
bought it because you had a yes.
I saw it on Amazon and thought, wow, that's what I need. I don't know how to use it or for what I use it. I just thought, yes. And I had at this point exactly the price of the laser I
You
get
had the
in from
amount of
the,
money. Like
yeah,
always in your story, you always
yeah.
have the amount of money for
Get
exactly.
exactly the right amount. No penny more. And
Awesome.
I had this laser for over a half of a year at this point, and I never used it really. I tried it to
Yeah.
make words or something, but it's not like I use it really for my business.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, how how's like making human design in this charm? And I came home and you were there and I told you from this and you said, hey, do you want to make this? And this was the moment. Or would you love to do this? I don't know what you say exactly. And this was the moment I know, yes. This was the moment it was not hard anymore to think about
Yes.
it.
It
It
just came
was
up.
just, yeah, it
Awesome.
was just, okay, yes. And I think 1 or 2 hours later, I showed you the first prototype.
Yes. Do
And
you have
then
it
you,
do you have it, by the way? The first prototype? Is it
yeah,
with
but
you?
not here, not
Ah,
here.
okay. Okay.
And then you see it, and I think you was at the, we was outside, and I showed it to you.
Yeah.
And we said, okay, we have to create the chart a little bit new and something. And then I think in 1 or maximum 2 days, it was finally like, no. And
I
the
mean,
first one,
this is the most simple version. Like
yeah,
do you have some next to you
yeah,
that you can show? Because
yeah.
like this is very beautiful, but the others that you did, I mean, what you have made for
Yeah,
Daniela.
I have mine here. I don't know if I, 1 moment, I can make it like this. So this is like two kind of woods. Uh, I called it fusion because it's you don't see that it looks like it's
It's one,
yeah,
but actually it's two
yeah,
kind of.
yeah.
I need your
I
camera
hope
is mirrored, just for the people to know. Vince is not emotional. This is mirrored, so
mirrored.
yeah.
But what's
Just
mirrored?
the, you know, the black engravings, they
Ah,
show
okay.
the definition and it's mirrored, you know.
Yeah,
It's mirrored, so it's not you're not
yeah.
emotional, you have a defined spleen and then
Yeah,
you have to
you can see it on the ego because the emotional center
yes,
is the
yes,
side where the ego is stays.
yes.
So this one was the second one, not the second one. It was the second upgrade.
Yeah,
And
okay.
so I have the classic one. This is yours.
Yeah.
It's called classic. This one is the fusion, and the newest and really special one is called the rare. Therefore, it's so that's one of a kind too. But this is really one of a kind because it's not only the chart what's one of a kind, it's
Yeah, yeah.
the wood too. So I use really rare woods.
This looks like gold or something. Looks
Yeah.
wow.
I don't know the English word for this
What
wood,
is the
but it's
German word?
Berberitze.
I don't know.
It's like a cranberry thing of tree things,
It's a
and
like a
it's
cranberry bush thing. Wood.
yeah, but
Yeah, I don't know.
it's really rare to get this as a wood because normally when you cut a bush, nobody thinks to hold the wood to give it to a wood artist or something. But I found somebody who had this, and at the back it's an oak from a Mooreiche, a oak from
I don't know what's more like the stuff in the forest where where like you know what's bubbling and uh, I don't know what's it called. A
swamp,
swamp. Swamp. Yeah.
swamp, swamp oak. I don't know if English is swamp oak too, but in Germany it's an oak who fought in a swamp and lays there for 2 or 3,000 years, and then it's black. Yeah,
So let me just get this together. That
yeah,
means you had a long way, but the way was correct because you started this self-employment and you had no idea why, but you had a yes, so you kept on going with it. You bought wood, you had no idea of why you bought it, and you bought it with, you know, all the money you had, and you were a zero again. Then you buy it like a laser and you had no idea why you bought it, and at the end you finally made something like this, and even without any effort, it just, you know, gets better and better and better and more refined and more refined, and you still have fun with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing. You know, this is, I mean, this is a story. That's why I wanted to, you know, interview, or, you know, it's not an interview, but that's why I want you to speak about this, because it's so crazy. And I mean, let's make a cut at this point with the story. I mean,
Yeah.
you can tell some more, but let's get to this, you know, to this main question. If there is, what would you say to, I mean, you do sacral sessions for all the people who are like interested in working with you. You do sacral sessions with generators and manifesting generators. I really appreciate that you understand that you cannot guide a projector, for example, that you,
Mm-hmm.
you know, have the capacity to guide a sacral being because you have your own experience. I really think this is a good way to go because you can feel it and you can experience it. So if you people who watch want to have a session with Vince, I don't know, you know, get in contact, just write him. I guess there will be a possibility. If he has a yes, he's very radical, as you see with this experiment. Very radical means like if he doesn't have a yes, it's nothing personal. You know, the same
Mm-hmm.
when you invite me, when I have a no, it's nothing personal. So I just want to talk about this sacral mechanic. How do you
Yeah.
feel the sacral mechanic from in the beginning, and how do you feel it now? Would you still say you need questions? Is it necessary to get a question, or can you just do what you think is nice or makes fun?
I think it's still necessary to get a question. I for some small things like food, it's okay for me if I just go to a store and see the food or the ingredients for some recipe and know, okay, I need a pumpkin, or not I need, I have a yes for a pumpkin, and I have a yes for spaghetti, and I have a yes for cream or whatever.
Yeah.
Therefore, I not need a question every time. If it's uh, uh, a cooked
But
food,
is your cognition C?
yeah, I
Okay, so
think
you
it's 1 minute. It's taste or seeing, and it's just 1 minute. So I would think it's seeing. I told with our mother too, and she said, as a child, I said, "Oh, I want this. Yeah, I want this," and it's from seeing
Mhm.
something.
Okay.
And yeah, therefore, okay. But if it's really something I want to cook, I want to eat right now, like something cooked it for me, then I need a question. Or if I want a coffee right now, if
Yeah.
if it's if I consume it, or if I have to do something, then I have a question. It's easy for me to sell, to not to sell, to buy stuff. And then I have a pumpkin and spaghetti and cream and potatoes and tomatoes at home. And then I looked at the fridge and Daniela asked me, "Hey, do you want potatoes today?" And then I know, okay,
Ah, okay.
potatoes. But I can buy it like the
Because you know
laser,
what you
like
like.
the, yeah, not liking. It's like the laser. It's a moment I need this right now, but I don't know why. And
Okay.
then when the question comes to me, I know,
Okay.
that's why I buy potatoes.
So you need the question to really know which way you go with whatever you have as resources.
Yeah.
So
But I
you would
can the
say,
resources, that's a good word. The resources, it's my gate 14.
yeah, exactly.
This I would say I can do by my own. The resources, the most of the resources. I can just say, see, okay, this is what I need, this is what I need. But to get it together or to create something from this
To use your to
resources.
use your sacral to generate something from it, you need
Yeah, a
a
question.
question. Okay. What would you think about what is your perspective on a generator is walking through the city and has a sacral response to go in the cinema? Is this a real response? If this person just goes into the cinema in whatever movie, or like how do you differentiate that? If it needs a question or not?
It needs a question, yes. And I just can say it through my
Yeah,
eyes,
of course,
through
of course.
my experience. And mostly if it's I just have an inner vision to your cinema thing. And it's I had situations like this too. So I go to a city and see the cinema and think I have to go there. I think, oh, I have a sacral, yes, I have to go there. But if it's really a response from the sacral, it's nothing I just make. I'm a manifesting generator, and still it's mostly like the time we was in Krems. I thought a pizzeria, uh,
You
a
saw a
pizzeria.
pizzeria. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I
You
saw a
just saw.
pizzeria, and I saw pizzeria and thought, "Wow," not thinking. It
You
was
just thought. You had like a
it was a,
response.
I had a response, but I didn't say anything. I don't say anything, and I don't go there. So we go through the city and don't found a restaurant to go there.
Yeah, we couldn't find a restaurant because
Yeah.
like we're not
So we
sure.
go so we go back to the car where the pizzeria is or whatever. And I said to you, when we come
Walk
here,
back.
no, at the moment we go out of the car, I saw this pizzeria. And then you said, should we go there? And
Okay.
then I had a yes, and then
Ah,
we go there.
and
I know, or
you
I
knew, you
feel
knew, you knew.
something. I feel something, no, to respond. I feel something, but I don't know what. I at the moment you ask me, I know. Oh, okay, I want to go to the pizzeria. But at the first moment, I just recognized, oh, there is something
Okay, okay.
in this
So you felt
direction.
like I'm open to this direction,
Yeah.
but
Yes.
you needed the question to define it. If it's really now, or if it's just something that could be.
It's not only this. I needed a question to recognize there is a pizzeria. I just had
Ah,
I looked at this direction and I had a response to anything, but I don't know. There was a lot of houses and not only the pizzeria. I know, in this direction, radar, like a
yeah,
radar.
like a radar. Yeah.
Yeah, I recognize, okay, everything or anything in this direction, I had a yes to, but I don't know what. And at the moment you ask me, then I know, oh, it's the pizzeria. I want to eat there. And it was a good pizza.
Yeah, it was nice, actually. So what
Yeah.
do you think about
So to the cinema thing, if
oh
you
yeah,
have
yes.
if you had a yes to a cinema or a cinema marketing thing,
A movie poster, whatever.
a movie poster or something, then it doesn't mean to go in the cinema. Wait until the ask comes to you, the
The
question
question.
comes to you. Yeah.
So would you say is it in your perspective that your aura will always force the other to ask you?
Yeah. Yes.
If you wait long enough, you will get asked.
Yes. Yeah. It's still. I still have moments. I would have a question. I want a question, but
Okay,
it's
sometimes you feel like, please ask me,
yeah. But when I look back at these moments, I know that I didn't need a question in
So
this
you
moment.
kind of recognizes it, but you still, of course, sometimes your mind gets
Yeah.
too loud and you fall into this need of, this would be so good and please. And have you ever caught yourself tricking yourself into making it, and just see what happens if you don't act like waiting? If you don't wait, have you tried with this? Like, what happens if you just don't wait?
Yeah.
How
Um,
did that feel and what was the outcome?
I have to. What was it? It was I make didgeridoos in travel with small didgeridoos, yeah, and I want
Awesome.
to make this bag,
The
yeah,
bag.
yeah, and
Awesome,
I
Judas.
yeah, thank you, and I want to make this bag, but I don't want to make it by my own. I want to find somebody want that or who make these bags for me because
We'll produce it for you.
yeah, and
So if
I
there's somebody outside here watching, you can create kind of bags for didgeridoos. It's a DIN A4 format. Please feel free to contact Vince.
yeah, and at this moment, I thought, fuck off with the response and anything. Just go to in the internet, and I go on Facebook and searched for groups with nähen. Was heißt das auf Englisch?
Sewing, do-it-yourself
So
sewing stuff.
yeah, and
Sue.
yeah, I go in 3 groups and made a nice post with all informations, and I said, hey, you will get paid good for this because it's uh, I want a fair trade product and I want a good environment friendly product and anything. Just yeah, just call me or send me a message if you want. And it was in 3 groups, and in one of these groups was like 100,000 uh, people,
There
and
were like
I
100,000.
100,000, yeah,
What the?
and I didn't get one like or a comment, nothing in
Okay, and you
three
think it's
groups.
because you initiated it?
Yeah, of course, and anything else too. I ask or Daniela and her father and everybody I know to ask somebody if it's possible. If I know somebody, if he knows somebody, they called and
Okay.
ask friends and whatever.
So you
And
tried to push the river. You
yeah,
tried to push the
and
river.
it doesn't work. It maybe if I push more and more and more, then it could be a possibility that I had a bag now, but it was not. It will be not the right bag or not the right moment or not.
Made by
It
the
will
right
be a
person.
frustrating. It will be a bag with a little bit of frustration,
Covered in
and
frustration.
yeah, I know that it was. It will be no bag of satisfaction.
Hmm. Awesome.
Yeah,
So, wow. I mean, let's ask the people. There's like still 24 people watching, and I guess there's a lot of people who have got some questions. So please, if you watch this and you have some questions about the sacral, about or whatever you want to ask Vince, he's here. I guess we will make like let more 10 minutes and then it's good for now. So please ask it now. I will quickly go to the toilet and Vince, if you want, just see if there's a question, and I will be right back.
yeah. How do you quit your mind when it comes to making big purchase because your sacral said yes? I hope that I get this. Oh, there come a lot of comments. How do you quit your mind when it comes to making big purchases because your sacral said yes? It's for me, it's easy because I just hope that my sacral is on the right side. So I just hoping that my mind will not bring me satisfaction. And now my mind knows it because I have a lot of experiences, and it's easier to get your mind or on the side of your sacral. I don't know if I can say it like this. I hope I want to say that it's easier in if you do it longer to get the mind in the right.
Okay, so I guess you want to say the longer you're in the experiment, the
Yeah.
more easier it gets to differentiate between what is mind and what is sacral.
Not this. It was the first comment from Louis.
Louis,
Yeah.
how do you quiet your mind when it comes to making big purchases because your sacral said yes? Okay. And
I want to. Huh?
You already have answered that?
I hope I understand the question right.
Ja, sie fragt, was ist, wenn du wenn du ein Ja hast und du hast größere, es geht um eine größere Ausgabe und dein Sakral sagt Ja. Wie gehst du mit deinem Verstand um, wenn es zu laut wird?
Yeah, I just hope that it will be right. I think I said this, yeah.
Okay, you use your motivation. Okay, so the next one, I will read it to you if you want.
Yeah.
So Anne asks, how do you make a decision when you are alone and there is nobody there to ask you?
When there is a question needed, then there will be somebody who asks me every time.
Very helpful. This is very helpful. A true believer. Awesome. Okay, next question from Jenny Ills. Thank you for sharing. I'm a generator too, but I never feel a sacral response. Do you have a tip how I can connect better?
I don't have a tip because maybe one tip.
Okay.
If you really go in the position of waiting, really waiting, no watching TV or Netflix and chill and something that's always something that you do. Really waiting. Just go like me on the bench and do nothing. And then an old friend comes and buy you food or something like that. Yeah. Try it. Maybe just for the first time, 5 or 2 minutes a day. And then just wait if something will happen. And I think it's not like the sacred is not there. It's more like you didn't hear it because you look or you're doing things every time, and it's like you're running away from this who's there. And you can see it because so there's the sacral and it makes this, and you say, where's the sacral? Like, you know what I want to describe?
You're too distracted to really hear it because you're too busy with doing and surviving and trying to solve or whatever and get somewhere. Yeah. So your tip is like settle, do nothing, don't expect anything. That's what I would add. Don't expect anything. You know, it's just about, you know.
It's good at the beginning or for really start with that just 10 minutes a day. Just go on on a seat or on your couch or something where it's comfortable for you and sit there. Because it's a generator, it's not easy to do nothing. But 10 minutes for the first time should go. And maybe then 15 and 20 and 30 and then the whole life.
My question would be, have you had a day where you really waited, like not just 10 minutes, like where you waited hours? So you already like, there's always something happening and it just comes. Okay, cool. So the next question is from Just Maya. Hello, it is interesting to hear about the part with questions. Did you try to believe in a positive outcome, literally, to initiate an action that you know that will 100% will give a response? I can read again. Did you try to believe in a positive outcome, like to initiate an action that you know that will 100% will give a response?
Can you describe it for me a little bit more?
I understand the same as you, I guess. So maybe Just Maya, if you maybe want to.
But she made more comments like that.
Oh, there is more. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
See, I create too, but I initiate and feel in the same time, and outcome is much better than I expected. Sorry for error. I barely see what I type because of background. I create too, but I initiate and feel in the same time, and outcome is much better than I expected. Initiate an action to what you know will 100% will give a response.
Okay, I think she means that you know before you being asked that you will have a yes, so you do it by yourself and don't wait for the question.
Ah, okay, maybe. And even if not, maybe that's an interesting thing.
Yeah, I never had something like this. If I initiate something, then it never goes good.
It never works. Okay.
It never works. It's not like it doesn't work. I made a bag like this. I said
Yeah. This
I
bag.
made a bag. Yeah, it is a bag, but it's not a good bag.
It's a bag.
But it's not a good bag, and the process to create this bag was not giving me satisfaction.
Okay. So it's all about this, you would say.
So, but
is this a signpost? Is satisfaction or frustration? Is this a signpost for you that shows you like, oh, maybe a little bit navigating?
Yeah, it's one of the signs. But another sign for me now is if I couldn't sleep at the night, then I know sometimes I do things 10 hours a day. I do anything. I normally every day I do something, but I do like the bag. I do 10 hours. I do the bag, and I go to a shop and buy the materials for it, and I cut it and everything. 10 hours, and at the night I'm laying in the bed, and my sacral is not empty.
Empty. Okay. So that's another signpost.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go on to the next question. I don't know, Jolie, maybe. For me, it's very hard to feel the sacral reaction inside. It is like it is outside, like a pull. Someone know how to feel it more in my body.
But it's okay when it feels different. Then it doesn't have to be inside, or if you feel something, then follow it. If it's outside or inside or whatever.
So does it feel for you like a pull? Something is pulling you? Or is it more inside energy that's rising?
I would say it's inside, but I had a connection from sacral to the
You have a 3420.
Yeah, so it could be different by a pure generator. So maybe if you're a generator, a pure generator, and you had action to your throat, and maybe it's the your sacral is defined by the design side, so it's not.
It's unconscious.
Yeah, it's unconscious. Then it could feel like it's from the outside.
Okay, maybe. So maybe you should try and error, I guess, with this, right? You
Yeah.
should just see what happens. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So next question is from Tribal Venus. What does hope motivation mean? I'm a manifesting generator, emotional authority.
Should I say something to that?
Yeah, of course. If you want, if you have a yes. Do you have a yes?
I don't know if it's so just the basic information about the hope motivation, or if she or he wants the. So
She or okay.
For me, hope motivation means that I have a kind of hopeness inside of me, and if I recognize that I don't be in this energy of hope, I know, okay, that's not the right way. And if I just can stay here or sit here and know, okay, I don't have something to do, I'm just here and hope that everything will fix this by its own, then I know I'm on my right way. And then I know this what I want to do, or the next step which is coming to me is the right step for me.
Okay, would you say that a generator even needs to know the motivation?
No. For me, it's no. So
would you say you need it when you begin with the experiment?
No, but it's easier to quit your mind if you know you don't have to fix something.
So it's something to hold on for your mind.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So Louis is she said, thank you for answering. Trust plus motivation. Okay, that's what she understood. Just Maya again. I can't read the first one. Waiting without expectation become better. Creation without expectation becomes better. Do you think the same?
Creation without
expectations.
Also ohne Erwartung.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Yeah,
okay.
I guess there's more. Okay. Yes, I'm emotional manifesting generator. Just to check if you will have a response. Oh, yes, satisfaction, you understand. Okay, I guess that's all. No, there's more. There's Katarina wrote, so you would say it's wrong for me as manifesting generator to post anything here on Instagram without being asked. I've been told that when my body is immediately moving, I should follow. So
that's for me a different thing, I have to say, because I have an Instagram account, you see, and I make postings. Sometimes I make a post every day. Sometimes I don't make a post. But the start of Instagram was a question.
okay.
I don't know if it was you. I think it was you, because you said Facebook is lame. Go on Instagram.
I can't remember, man. I'm sorry.
And I said, oh, Instagram, I don't know Instagram. I don't have Instagram and whatever. And you said, but it's better. And you asked me if I want to create an Instagram account. And I said, yeah. And then I made it. And then I think I have the energy for this. I I have a yes to have an Instagram account, but the postings come without a question. A lot of the postings. It's more than as a MG. I always want to show what I do. And now if it's nobody there, so Daniela have no time maybe, or Talis is not in nearby that I can show my creation, my newest creation, I make a post.
So is this correct?
I don't know, but I make it like this. But it's not every day or something. It's not like a strategy or whatever. So I have to make it. It's in the flow. So maybe, or not maybe, sometimes I have 2 weeks I didn't post anything because
So it's
I don't post when I don't want to, I could say.
so you don't post when you feel pressured or you want to prove or all this not self stuff. You just post because it just naturally happens.
Yeah.
Okay. I guess everybody needs to find out on their own if it's correct or not. I mean, I use Instagram too. And what I do is like, I have feeling cognition and I have motivation desire. So I recognize when it's correct in a way. And also I feel like this is my platform. This is my thing. I just use it as a kind of diary. You know, this is my place. I can show and do whatever I like to do in this place. Like if it would be my own living room. That's how I see it. So yeah, it's a tough question, I guess. So thanks for.
If it's just one sentence to this, if it's frustrating, if as Instagram or the postings, if it's frustrating for someone, then don't do it. But if it feels good or you have satisfaction, then yeah.
Okay, I guess let's come to the maybe last question. Then it's good. Let's see. Is there something else? I guess there is nothing else here.
What is defined as a pure generator?
What is defined as a pure generator? That's the last question, and then that's it.
Yeah, as a pure generator, you don't have a direct.
You don't have a solar plex. You don't have the 3420. You don't have a solar plex defined. You're just a pure generator.
Yeah, Sacral is possible.
Root
G is possible. Root is possible. Ashna is possible. Head is possible. Spleen is possible. Ego is possible. Yeah.
Okay. So all of you guys, thank you for watching. Please, if you want to support Bastelfolk, if you just, want to say thank you for 1.5 hours of sharing stories and giving free information. I mean, if you want to support it, this could be a very nice Christmas gift. I mean, this looks awesome. It's beautiful. It's unique. It's handcrafted. It's made from very special wood. You can find it on bastelfolk.de.
Yeah.
You will find a description for all of this stuff. So if you want to support him, buy one of those. And if you want to support my work, just buy me a coffee on my Linktree, LERNHUMANDESIGN. You can find it there. So thank you for watching. Thank you, Vince, for spending your time with all of us and for sharing your story. It's awesome. It brought a lot of hope, I think. I hope a lot of people got inspired by your story, by your radical approach to it, and I wish you happy experimenting with it even more. And let's see where we are in 1 year, and maybe we will do another session talking about this and that. So yeah, awesome. Thank you very much, and bye for now.
Bye.